What's up, YouTube? I'm back with another live stream. This one gonna be about the pros and cons to gang stalking, the benefits, the things that you're taking advantage of, and you don't even know it, and you don't even know that it's pros and cons to gang stalking, and they don't expect you to realize that there's pros and cons to this gang stalking, organized harassment thing. We're gonna get into it. Um, I would say that the only con to it is the finances. But most targets don't have felonies and have the ability to escape the, being fired for no reason type scenarios and, you know, lack of hours and stuff like that. Before I start the live stream, I would like to say that lie detector tests are $400 plus. And I'm not on here being told to say anything. I'm not part of any secret organizations. I'm not part of any organizations. These things can be lie tested. Um, I don't know any other targeted individual. I don't know targeted individuals. I don't know y'all personally. I'm not watching y'all in y'all house. I'm not being a perp. These things can be lie tested. Okay, so let's get into the live stream. Let me go to my post and we'll get started from there. But yeah, while I look for that, I look for my post. Um, I just want to say I love doing this. I love doing this. I've been targeted since 2018. I just had to break the mental chains that were just on me, and I might sound like I'm one of the people defending um, this being some type of schizophrenia, but no, I've been through this. I just broke the chains last year, or like around last year. But let me get to it. Okay, so you want to. It's pros and cons to gang stalking. So you want to take advantage of the benefits of gang stalking, and most don't. Now I'm reading from my post. I'll be briefly stopping to just talk, and I'm gonna drop the StreamYard. I'm gonna drop the StreamYard link. If anybody wants to join in, you can. So take advantage of the benefits of gang stalking because most don't. They still try to go out and party, and they experience the same gaslighting, indirects, etc. Take advantage instead. So what I mean by that is that most targets miss being like uh, in the crowds, around people. Most targets would say, I wish that like I wish that I could just be out with my friends doing stuff and parties and clubbing and stuff like that. Like if this stuff wasn't going on, that's what I would be doing. Well, you have to understand the pro and con of not going to a party, a pro and con of not being out clubbing. There's a pro and con to that. The pro is that you save money and you won't be targeted while you're there. I don't even understand how some of y'all can even listen to music and that's all that's played at parties. That's all that plays at parties. Uh, Personally, that gangster music, any type of music, any really, but gangster music definitely convicts me because all it talks about is every song that's gangster. All it talks about is somebody else. You ain't never did this. You ain't never sold drugs. You ain't never harmed nobody. Stuff like that. It convicts me. That stuff used to bother me. So once I let that go, they got angry. Once I let that go, once I let music go, and even listening to it, they got angry at that because I became a better person. They got really angry at that, and that's all of them. Even people that don't listen to music at all. Like it's probably cops sitting back somewhere mad that I don't listen to music anymore, and it's not affecting me, and I don't do music. Well, I never really tried like that, but I won't. You know. But yeah, that stuff convicted me, so I let it go. Like I said, hey, I'm not listening to that stuff. I don't want to listen about how many drugs I ain't sold, how many people I ain't harmed. I don't want to listen to that. But yeah, that's what goes on at parties. Gaslighting, indirected conversations, things like that. You're going to be targeted at a party. So most targets say they miss doing these things that you really shouldn't be doing. Most targets say they miss doing these things that you really shouldn't be doing. Take advantage instead. Take advantage instead. Taking advantage means, you know, hey, since I'm not at the party. I'm not obligated to be at a party every weekend like how I used to be or how y'all used to be. I never was a partying type, but some people are like that. Take advantage of these, of not even wanting to be at these small get-togethers. Take advantage of that. There's pros and cons to this stuff, and they don't expect you. They expect you to stay reaching to, get back around people. They expect that you getting your finances together to come and party with them. They expect you to just stay reaching to to like you saving your money to be with them. That some of y'all are. Some of y'all saving y'all money to be back into regular society. To be back clubbing, to be back at these little get-togethers, and all of it's bad. All of it is bad. All of it, right? So another pro in gang stalking around the same subject of not being at parties. Another pro is that you don't have to buy clothing and spend hundreds and hundreds of $1,000s on clothing when you're not going out to a party, when you're not going out to the club. That's pointless. So it's a bunch of benefits to this. It's a bunch of benefits to being gang stalked. And they don't want you to find those out. They expect you to never find out that they expect you to never find out that there's a pros. There's pros into not being in gang stalking. There's pros. Not being in gang stalking. There's pros to being gang stalked. There's pros to being a targeted individual. A bunch of pros to being a targeted individual. I have a long paragraph that I wrote, but it's a bunch of pros to being a targeted individual. I'm telling you, this inevitably falling out of materialism, things like that. There's pros to being a targeted individual, but it's like I said, in my passage that I wrote, I said, learn the pros and cons of gang stalking and turn it into all pros. Like are you another pro of gang stalking. You are one of the only individuals in your city aware of 24/7 surveillance. Do you not know what people unaware of technology and 24/7 surveillance do? They commit all types of crimes. That's what they do. So imagine if you were never gang stalked. You never thought anybody was watching you. Say you was broke on the street. You ain't had no job or nothing, right? You never thought anybody would be watching you or anything like that. You never knew about gang stalking. You never knew about 24/7 surveillance. You say you were never gang stalked, and you just broke, and you just see somebody, or you see, we'll say you see a house or something. You say, hey, I want to break into that house, or you see a car or something. Hey, I want to break into that car and see if I can steal it or something, right? Like you would do that, but you wouldn't do that as a targeted individual, as a person that is aware of 24/7 surveillance. Do you not know how many people out here that would do that, are doing that right? They're doing that right now. They're doing that right now. Crime is going on right now, all because somebody don't know of 24/7 surveillance. Because 24/7 surveillance equal consequences guaranteed, right? So that's why people commit crimes. So be, be happy. There's pros and cons to it. We already know the cons. That's the only thing that we think about. The cons are the only things we think about. Targeted individuals do not mention the pros of gang stalking, the pros of being gang stalked. You know, they don't mention the pros. We all talking about cons. Oh, they did this to me. Oh, they did that to me. Oh, they did this. They did that. We're all talking about the cons of this stuff. We're never talking about the pros of gang stalking, because there's a lot of pros to gang stalking, and I just exposed one major pro of gang stalking. That's being aware of 24/7 surveillance. That's being aware of 24/7 surveillance. That's a pro of gang stalking. Being aware of 24/7 surveillance. Being aware of 24/7 surveillance is a pro of gang stalking. I guarantee you won't get up and commit no crime because you know the police watching. That's for sure. That's all who doing it. I guarantee you won't get up and go commit no crime. So that, guess what? That's a pro. You probably won't even steal nothing out the store. So that's a pro of gang stalking. We all just get on here and post the cons of gang stalking. We post the cons of gang stalking. That's all we do. But I'm gonna keep reading from my passage that I post. Take advantage, learn the pros of gang stalking, learn the pros and cons of gang stalking, and turn it into all pro. Not getting the attention that you want, regardless of how you're dressing, stop buying clothing. Gang stalk at get togethers, parties, stop going. Can't trust people, stop trying to have friends in conversation from experience, and stop trying to have friends in conversation, and from experience you do not become socially awkward. I'm gonna stop there. You don't become socially you don't become socially awkward once you stop talking to people. Most of the people are subconscious atheists. The fact they surround you with citizen informers should let you know. Most of society is subconscious atheists. It's not, so it's okay to have a conversation. You know, it's okay to not have a conversation. It's okay to not have conversations. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay to not have conversations. It's okay. It's okay to not speak to people. It's okay. Because they surround you with citizen informants and things of that nature. Yeah, they surround you with citizen informants and things of that nature. And y'all can always join the live stream if y'all want to. Excuse me. But yeah, y'all can always join the live stream if y'all want to. Got the I got the link up there, right? So You don't become socially awkward from this. Not having conversations, not talking to people. If you got a job, talk to your boss, be best friends with them, but that's about it. You know, I've learned that, right? So you become about your business from being, socially awkward on purpose. Not socially awkward, but just to yourself on purpose. You become about your business. I don't even know how you enter a party or a club when all the music has shaming of people never doing certain things. Or in each song, it says you're not a gangster, you're acting. All music consists of shaming, and y'all still enter clubs. I got in an argument with my girlfriend at the time. We were in a rental truck, and she decided to play music out loud on her phone. Of course, it was gangster music that shames people for not being people that harm people, never selling drugs, never doing this and that. That stuff convicts me every time. So I don't like to hear it because I never did it. At least I don't like to hear it being under direct observation. I can listen to music by myself. Yeah, I can listen to music by myself. That's what I mean by that. At least I don't like to hear it. I mean, I don't even listen to music by myself. Like, I don't even listen to music by myself at all. But at least I don't like to hear it being under direct observation. That means with somebody around me. I stopped listening to music though, and just in full. I just stopped listening to it. Like, I've been stopped listening to it like years ago. Years with an S. Um, that's all music you will hear. Learn the benefits of gang stalking. It's complete focus. The benefits in gang stalking all around, just at the end of the passage, bro, it's just complete focus. That's the benefits of gang stalking. It's complete focus. It's complete focus. It's complete focus. It's complete focus. The benefits of gang stalking. That's what it is. It's focusing. You're being. What do you do when you can't? Even if you're not being shunned from society, you just can't find you can't realize why I don't like being around people. Why this like that? Why that? That's a benefit. That's a benefit of gang stalking. That's a benefit of gang stalking. It's complete focus. You don't like being around people, stop being around people. Focus. You know? But this is stuff they don't want you to know. Stuff they don't want you to understand. This is stuff they don't want you to know. Stuff you don't want you to understand. They just want you to believe that it's just straight up cons of being gang stalking. Of being gang stalked. That's what they want you to believe. Like, it's just all gang stalking. It's just all bad. It is to them because they don't expect you to flip it. They don't expect you to flip it. They expect you to always, like I said, they expect you to always be rapping to be around people. Trying to be financially stable to be around people. That's what they expect. They expect that you will make a lot of money and you will just be around people. Like, everything will be back to normal. Like, that's what they're expecting. They expect all bad. Like, they think that being gang stalked, like you being gang stalked, that they're holding you back. That's what they think. They're holding you back. That's what they think. And it's literally, you just literally have to find the pros and cons. You have to find the pros and cons of gang stalking. But yeah, this is stuff they don't want you to know. Stuff they don't want you to understand. They don't think you can come completely focused from this stuff. You can become completely focused from this stuff. Directed conversations, ignore their conversations, stop having conversations, with blatant focus on your task. Like, say you at work or something, right? And somebody's having a directed conversation, say you at work or something and somebody's having a directed conversation, indirected conversation, right? Ignore that with complete focus. Like that means do extra things. Like that means go clean or something if you ain't got nothing to do, but ignore it with complete blatant complete focus. Don't let it mess you up, if you get what I'm saying. Gaslighting at parties, stop going. Nothing changes when buying expensive clothing. Stop buying that clothing. There is benefits of gang stalking. The day you become aware of 24/7 surveillance, there are no mistakes. Huge benefits. You're not pulling me in, questioning me about nothing when I'm under the mindset of some real people are watching everything that I do. That's been like that for me since 2018. So yeah, there is benefits of gang stalking. The law can't play with you like you're unaware of this. This is like being rich in knowledge. I'll be live to. Oh, I was gonna say I'll be live tonight. That's what I say in my passage. Yeah, but it's because people don't take advantage of this and don't realize the ego you should be having when somebody decided to put you on a targeting list out of 100% complete jealousy, pure jealousy. That's what it is. The ego you should carry by you can't go to another state for 1 week and this stuff not starting back over again. It might be like I said, it might be a week, right? Like a lot of targets say, it might be a week normal. Like it might be you might get to another state and it might be a week normal. Like it might be you can go 7 days normal, and then the next thing you know, you being targeted like you was being targeted in whatever city you just left. But I just travel around. It's not even because of the targeting. It's you know, um, it's not a lot of shelters in one state in one city, and that's what I like to do. I like to stay places. The system want to target me. I'm going to stay places to where I'm not paying rent. Cause what y'all doing that for? That's pure jealousy. That's pure jealousy. This is not done to anyone. It's pure hate. So the ego you should be carrying for the ego you should be carrying for the ego that you should be having uh for just being targeted and stuff like that. You should carry a heavy ego that the system is paying people. This is nothing normal. Like you gotta understand, they don't even do this to criminals, and criminals wouldn't even notice, but they don't do it to criminals. This is not normal. This is not a procedure. Um, it's not a procedure. It's not something that it's not normal. It's not normal, and it's not right. It's not normal. This is done to hundreds of people. I would say hundreds and thousands. You know, out of pure hate and jealousy, and I can see that through others. And I just kind of figured that out yesterday that this was a hate program. It's, you feel what I'm saying? It's a hate program. I just now realized that yesterday. I had to come to a conclusion that this isn't even done. This is not done to any type of person in America, anywhere, for any reason. There's no reason for this to be done. But out of pure hate and jealousy, to induce a mental illness in a person. That's all that is. That's all that is. So I came to that conclusion yesterday. I was like, yes, that's crazy. That's what that is. That's hate. It's hate. But being rich in knowledge can lead you to financial comfortability. They don't expect you to think there is pros to gang stalking. That's one thing. They don't expect you to think that there's pros to gang stalking. They don't expect you to think that there are pros to gang stalking. They don't expect you to think that. That's not what they expect you to think. Oh, that's not what you. That's not what they expect you to think. I listen. I listen. I binge watch gang stalking videos. That's all I watch. And I can tell you, they don't expect you. All people talk about is cons of gang stalking. They don't expect you to think that there's pros of this. Pros of this is understanding why not to be a part of society and why and what society does. That's the pros of this. That's the pros of this. That's the pros of this. Not wanting to be a part of society and what it does, what everyone else does, because you're being shunned from it anyway. You go to a party, you come back on YouTube to talk about what happened, how you ain't feel comfortable there, and this or that. You know, and you spending all this money to go out there. Just stop doing it. I don't know what's so difficult. What's so difficult? Like you gotta be at a family function. You gotta be at a party. It makes me feel like you're not really targeted. It made me feel like some people aren't really targeted once they have to do these things. But I haven't been to a club in. I was never a club type of person. I was never a party type of person. But I haven't been to a club in years, like parties in years. Like I haven't been there in forever. Like forever. Like I haven't been there. Like I don't even do that type of stuff. Like I can count on my fingers, bro. Like how many times I've been to a party. Like for real. Like that's no joke. Like it's no joke. I can count on my fingers how many times I've been to a party. So there's pros and cons to this stuff. You don't get what I'm saying. You probably never will because, like, it's just sad. It's just sad that you don't understand that, um, you know, a party leads you to the notification, the invitation of a party leads you to the mall to spend $400 on an outfit. Don't you know I was paying rent somewhere and that was $400 in my own apartment, studio apartment. I was paying rent in that apartment for $440. The $40 was for the water or something like that. And I had my Wi-Fi and stuff like that. But I was paying rent for $440. I had my Wi-Fi. That was probably like $60 or something like that. But yeah, it probably come up like $500 a month. Like so, like that's a waste of money. It's a waste of money. Like it's a waste of money. What another another thing I was going to speak on is mimicking of mimicking targets back. That's not. I mean, mimicking gang stalking, mimicking people back. But that's going to be another video. That's real good topic. It's a real good topic. That's another video. That's for another video. But yeah, some take advantage. I'm reading from another passage that I posted, a summary. Some take advantage of targeting, unaware that it is and unaware that it is a. Some take advantage of targeting, unaware that it is a advantage being taken. I don't want to hang out with them, quote unquote. I don't want to hang out with them or people. Don't you know that you're taking advantage of a pro of gang stalking? I don't want to hang out with them people. Don't you know you're taking an advantage of, a pro of gang stalking? Dodging the inevitable trigger word, directing conversations, whether those people are perpetrators or not. Dodging the inevitable trigger words, directed conversations, whether those people are perps or not. I don't want to party, quote unquote. Don't you know you're taking advantage of not being in danger and the trouble that comes with going to clubs and parties? The gaslighting in those events, the violence at those events, the money spent to look decent at those parties, the money spent on being intoxicated at those parties. You get what I'm saying? There is benefits to this stuff. I'm talking about extreme benefits. I don't know what will make people want to, like, after being gang stalked, like, you should feel like you should feel like someone in the Bible. That's how you should feel. Like, you should be moving like them. Like, I don't want to do none of the stuff they do. Like, after being gang stalked, you shouldn't want to do nothing that the world is into. You should be out of materialism. I'm not, but I understand that I do have to have a certain amount of nice clothing. I just not gonna I'm not gonna overdo it for no reason. Like how I used to think. I used to think, oh yeah, every shoe I gotta have it. Any shoe I like, I gotta have it. You feel what I'm saying? Like I used to think about that. Like I used to think like that. But it's just about what you need, the comfortability. 7 pairs of shoes for 7 days a week. Like just, I'm not saying that's logistics, but you do what you want. I'm just trying to tell you, like, it's so many benefits to gang stalking, and people don't really realize them. People don't really realize the benefits of gang stalking. People don't realize it, and it's sad. Targets don't realize the benefits of gang stalking, and it's really sad. But the only real con after you realizing that is these jobs. If you start to just use every pro of gang stalking, like I said, stop going to parties because and this and that. If you just use every pro of gang stalking, the only con of gang stalking is financial sabotage. You might get fired for no reason. Might start cutting your hours low, or just anything. Workplace mobbing really not an excuse to, like, leave a job. Like if you get the correct amount of hours, but if you don't have any felonies, you need to get a ride share delivery service job. If you don't have a car, you need to get one, get some insurance, and get a job to where you're not around people or something like that. A job to where you work alone, Amazon Prime or something like that. We still have to work. We still have to eat. We still have to eat. So it's just like, you know, but yeah, take advantage of that. You not wanting to be at parties, you not wanting to be in the limelight, you not wanting to impress people. You should start to be okay with things like living in a vehicle until you can overly pay for a house or an apartment. You should be okay about living in a shelter until you can overly pay for a house or an apartment or even a motel. That's probably what I'll be doing like forever. Like I'll probably be doing that forever. Like the hotel situation, like I'll probably be doing that forever. I'm probably don't even want to get no apartment. I don't even want any of it. It's kind of pointless. But but yeah, like you just have to understand those type of things. Yeah, pros and cons to gang stalking. Just take all the pros of gang stalking. You have to understand what I'm saying. This isn't personalized. this is just normal. Like this is just normal. Y'all don't even like loud music, but y'all love to be at a party. Y'all don't like nobody driving past your house playing music, but y'all love to be at a party. Y'all, some of y'all, like trying to go to get-togethers. I don't even go to family get-togethers. I don't want to hear none of that. Like I ain't trying to hear none of that. I don't even go to family get-togethers for real. Like it's that bad. Like it's really that bad. Last time I went around one of my families, like somebody had said something real crazy. I just kept it to myself. I ain't even say nothing to them. You could tell it was just like an indirect, and I just like I just ignored it. You know what I'm saying? Like so, I just stopped even going around them. I'm not telling y'all to do that, but yeah, they're everywhere, bro. Like so just look at the pros and cons of it. Most people don't, they can't, you know, financially get, stable because they don't understand that they need to. They're stuck, and then they'll be looking, uh, they'll be looking back like, dang, I wish I would have stacked money in my 20s and 30s. I'm in my 40s and 50s now, and I just been messing around, getting drunk, doing all of this, doing that. Like, no, like, no, for real. Like, that shit is crazy on some real stuff. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's crazy how many pros and cons to this stuff it is. Like, you're really rich in knowledge to get financially stable, financially comfortable. I would say financial comfortability is the number one goal for me. That's what it is. Financial comfortability is the number one goal for me. I don't want to be financially uh, rich and, and over, like six figure. I need a six-figure job and stuff like that. Nah, financial comfortability. I'll never want a high-rise apartment downtown that costs $2,000 a month. So comfortability, I'll always be staying somewhere. If I do stay somewhere, it'll always be something that's, no matter how much I have, it'll always be something that's $800 or less, $900 or less. Like for real. And people don't understand this type of stuff, bro. They don't. So it's pros and cons to gang stalking, and that's just what that is. I usually got some people in here in the comments, and somebody comments so I can keep going. Somebody need to comment so I can keep going with this live stream. I'll probably keep going a little bit anyway, but because I always think of something that I should have said when I get off the live stream. Like, dang, I should have said that. But I'm giving y'all a real game based off of logistics. Like, if you're really being targeted, you shouldn't want to be at a party. Why would you want to be at a get together, any get together, if you're really being targeted? You know, like, why would you even want to be there? A club or anything like that. Why would you want to be there? It's a pro not to be there. It's a pro not to have those type of wants. You know, it's a pro to not even be in materialism like that, in materialism to the point to where you need to have a pair of shoes every month. You know how those Jordans used to come out? Like they used to come out every weekend. And everybody used to talk about what Jordan coming out every weekend. And they got to get them. Like, you remember that them days and age? Like, it's a pro to not want those type of things. I'm just giving y'all logistics over intelligence every time. Logistics over intelligence every time, for real. Because logistics, well, intelligence will teach you. What I think I said this in my last line, but I made this up. Just thinking with logistics, intelligence will tell you to just don't be afraid of the lion and don't run. Don't be afraid of the lion. Then they won't attack you. That's what intelligence will tell you. Logistics will tell you to bring a lion, 200 pounds of meat, and they definitely won't attack you. You know what I'm saying? That's what logistics will tell you. Now, you shouldn't be around a lion anyway, but logistics will tell you bring a lion, 200 pounds of meat, and they won't attack you. Intelligence will tell you don't fear the lion. Put your arms up and act bigger than the lion, and they'll run away from you. You know what I'm saying? That's what intelligence will tell you, bro. So it's logistics over intelligence with everything. Everything. Logistics over intelligence. It's hard to explain this stuff sometimes. Like, sometimes it's hard for me to explain it, but for those who get it, they get it. For those who get it. Excuse me. But yeah, yeah, it's just a benefit. It's pros and cons. You're being kicked out of every cool part of society. That means if you want to be somebody that's on TV, you kicked out of that. There's a benefit to that. That changed my whole thinking pattern. Matter of fact, I used to want to be an artist. It changed my whole thinking pattern. I would never be that. It changed my whole thinking pattern. Just now that I don't want to be an artist, guess what? I don't have to pull my gun out on nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can walk away from certain situations now. It kept you being an artist drags that ego that you had to have in high school to regular life, to an ego out of high school. It brings the ego out of high school. If you want to be an artist, it's going to bring your ego out of high school. You know how you can't let nobody punch you in high school or punk you? Like, you got to do something back. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that brings that ego. That's why they do it. That's why they do that stuff. They want you messed up. But that brings that ego from high school into regular life. And when you try to be certain things, a worker of iniquity, a rap artist, worker of iniquity, swaying the people, promoting things of violence, worker of iniquity, like the Bible speaks of. Let me not speak on that much, because that's not something that people want to hear, like, not really, but, some people want to hear it, but that's not something people want to hear. Uh, for some reason, I don't like hearing it from other people at times, but I can, like, listen to it myself, or I can view Bible scripture myself. But everybody's not speaking on that stuff the right way, you know. But yeah, like, there's a bunch of benefits to being a target, like a bunch. You a target, right? If you can have a job for a whole year, you can go to work for a whole year and not spend money. Others, they can't. They can't. They at the party, they gotta buy a new shirt, they gotta buy a new hoodie, they gotta buy new clothes, they gotta buy a new pair of shoes. But you as a target, us as targets, we can go a whole year without working. I haven't had a pair of shoes in like 3 years, 4 years. I haven't had a pair of shoes in 3 to 4 years. I don't even, yeah, matter of fact, yeah, I haven't had a pair of shoes since I left my baby mama. And that was 3 years ago, 2023. I haven't had a pair of shoes in 3 years. Now I haven't been working. Like, I haven't really been into jobs and stuff like that. Um, and stuff like that. But the fact that I haven't had a pair of shoes in 3 years, you know what I'm saying? I haven't had a pair of shoes in 3 years. I used to be in all into shoes. I used to be all into shoes. Like I used to be into shoes like heavily. Like I really used to be one of them people that, looked at certain shoes and stuff like that. Now I wear Crocs. I wear Crocs. I wear slides and stuff like that, flip flops. I wear Crocs for my regular shoes at times. And I still get stuff going on. Like I still get it going on. Like as far as what we really trying to get on, is as men or whatever. You get what I'm saying? You trying to get your lady to a crib or something like that, and I still get that going on, like abundantly. Like whether I'm using a day nap or something or anything like that, I still get that going on. So you don't even need shoes. I mean, you do. I'm just saying, it's just so many benefits to being gang stalked. To being gang stalked, there's so many benefits to it. And I had a channel, I believe, in early 2022, 2021, something like that. But you can see my old post. I've been posting on here since April 1st, 2023. If you go to my shorts, that was my first post on this channel. My other channel, I didn't have videos and live streams because I didn't know what I was doing yet. But I've been targeted since 2018. You know, but I've been talking about this stuff. Like I've been talking about this stuff. So but yeah, I've been talking about this stuff. But yeah, it's just benefits to it, bro. It's benefits to being gang stalked, bro. Like I said, some people just not taking that benefit of being gang stalked. They're subconsciously taking that benefit and looking at it like it's a pro. I mean, looking at it like it's a con. Subconsciously taking that pro of being gang stalked and looking at it like it's a con, without really realizing it, excuse me, but without really realizing it, like, it's just too many benefits of being gang stalked. Too many benefits. It's too many benefits of being gang stalked. Too many benefits of being gang stalked. Too many benefits, bro. It's beautiful how many benefits it is of being gang stalked. But you have to realize, you have to look at what I said, realize how much money you spend going out. Oh, can't get in. Oh, yeah, that's another benefit of it. Where you feel like you can't get in a relationship, that's also a benefit. Get yourself together to where you can't be denied. Get financially comfortable enough to where you cannot be denied. Straight up. I mean, that's not really a problem for me. I'm just saying, like, I date honey pot, honey trap, but I'm done doing that anyway. I'm done doing that because um, somebody's sending them. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody's sending them, and it's to like throw me off. Like it's to throw me off, and that's for sure. But that's another benefit of gang stalking. You feel like you can't get in a relationship for some reason, which you can. You'll just be in a relationship with somebody that you really not that interested in. But you can get in a relationship, but it's always a financial burden to be in a relationship, especially if you're a man that has to take care of the household. Even if you're not living with her, bro, you gotta take care of her. Like, she don't want to go out to dates, and she might ask you to buy her some clothes and stuff like that. Like, so you gotta understand these type of things. You have to understand these type of things. It's all a financial burden. It's all a financial burden. Parties, relationships, um, clubbing, all of that stuff is a financial burden. And you're being, yeah, parties, relationships, clubbing, materialism, all of that stuff is a financial burden, and we get on here complaining about it. That's in short summary. This video could have been 1 minute. All of that stuff that we complain about is a financial burden. Everything that we complain about is a financial burden, and we get on here complaining about it. Materialism, clubbing. I don't mean to repeat myself and be repetitive, but sometimes that's what you have to do. You have to do that sometimes. But a financial burden. All of this stuff that we complain about is a financial burden. It's a financial burden. We complain about not going to parties. We complain about not going to clubs that we want to and stuff like that. You want to be getting, going to get-togethers and going to get-togethers and all that stuff. Like, you have to wait to do that stuff. But we complain. I'm not doing it at all because I know it's wrong. But we complain about all of these things. We complain about all of these things. And all of these things we complain about is a financial burden. This video could have literally been like 5 minutes. But I like to do long live streams so people can binge watch. I might be, I do these live streams. I might be saving you from a directed conversation, indirect conversation. You might have your headphones in somewhere and don't want to hear somebody. I'm saving you from that. That's why I do these live streams. You know what I'm saying? Somebody might be having a conversation in front of you, and you don't want to hear it. You don't have your headphones in, so I'm saving you from that. That's why I do these long live streams. That's why I do these. But it's literally pros and cons to everything, and definitely gang stalking. They didn't want you to know that. They didn't want you to know that. Oh my gosh, there's so many pros and cons. But the program isn't. They don't expect you to do good from this program. You know, they don't expect you to do good from this program of gang stalking. They don't expect you. They don't expect that. They don't expect that. They don't expect you to do good from being gang stalked. They do not expect that. Trust me. Trust me when I say that. It's not supposed to be a good outcome because you're just looking at all of the stuff that's a con to gang stalking and coming on here complaining about it. When everything that we complain about is a financial burden. Everything we complain about not being able to do is a financial burden. That's why I stayed on this live stream. I knew I would say something like that that would just, you know, it'll just kind of click. It'll kind of click. Everything that we complain about not being able to do is a financial burden. Like, wow. You know, wow. Everything as targets we complain about not being able to do is a financial burden. That could have been a 1 minute, 5 minute video. I just had to say that in short words. Everything that we complain about not being able to do as targeted individuals is a financial burden. Parties, clubbing, uh, materialism, get-togethers, all of that stuff is a financial burden, and we complain about not being able to do that. Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing to me. But yeah, I don't know what. I don't. Only thing you should really want, and this is in a good book as well. You know, only thing you should really want is the Bible. That's what I'm talking about. Only thing you should really want is um, a relationship, a marriage. You should wait to do that. And matter of fact, that's why God say you should wait to do that. It makes sense now. Like, so you can take care of your marriage, of your financial, situation. God say wait till you find that right person. Well, while you waiting, you can be taking care of your finances to do so. So it's like God makes so much sense. God makes so much sense when you really think about it. When you really just observe the words that God say, God makes so much sense. God makes so much sense. Too much sense. God makes too much sense. But yes, like it's just great. Like, excuse me, I don't think I'm doing no perp stuff. I have to keep mucus out of me because something going on. Something goes on in my system when I don't allow mucus to be released. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. I got 0 viewers right now, but that doesn't mean I'm finna stop. That doesn't mean I'm finna stop. I'm never stopping this stuff. I'm never stopping this stuff. I make too much sense with this stuff. Just this is amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing how much sense I make. I give that glory to God, because you know His instructions inside of God's book. Uh, it's amazing, and that's what makes me be able to regurgitate certain things, understanding, certain things and stuff like that. But yeah, I guess that's it. It's another hour live stream. I will be making another live stream. I don't know if tomorrow or I might wait until Friday or something like that. I might wait until Friday. But that live stream will be about, mimicking targets. I mean, mimicking perpetrators back when they do certain things. Like I was watching a video today of somebody, you know, not even gonna call out who I was watching, anything like that. But a person coughed while they was talking, and they obnoxiously coughed back. Like, you gonna get somebody gonna get hurt from that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, somebody gonna get hurt from that. Like, somebody's going to get hurt from that. You know. But I post on here 5%. to show that I'm not in fear of anything. I kind of always end these live streams like this a little bit. It kind of just made me mad a little bit when something just something just happened to body twitch. But I'm not in fear of anything. Like they like messing with the bottom of my foot. Like I don't know what type of weapon that is. I don't think that's an energy weapon, but the bottom of my foot and things around that area, like they like hitting that. Like something in my body hits that. Um, but yeah, you know what that means. I mean, I guess you would know what that means to me, but like I guess they think I'm in fear, or like they're trying to like silence me or something from talking to a group of people that don't get any type of this stuff. Isn't no one comes to this YouTube and searches gang stalking and comes to random targets videos. So I guess they think they're trying to silence me. The only way you're going to silence me is a jail cell or you know a box. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think you understand. I know they watch my stuff. I don't think that I don't I'm not sure if I said this already. I don't know how you can incarcerate me, but I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I do not care. If you get what I'm saying, I don't care. So you cannot, not speaking to targeted individuals, you cannot silence me. Yo, you cannot silence me. Uh, you can't. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not ever getting off of YouTube speaking this truth that it's helping people. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. You cannot silence me. You cannot stop me from speaking on YouTube to hundreds. Treat me like I'm protesting because I'm never doing that. Treat me like I'm protesting some. I'm never doing that. That doesn't work. And the reason I'm not doing that is because it doesn't work. This stuff isn't happening to everybody. If it worked, I probably would try to do that. But helping other people is the only option that I really have. Helping other people is the only option that I really have. You do not put fear in me. Law enforcement, I am not scared of you. I do not care. I do not care. I do not care. I don't care. You cannot silence me. You have choices. Grab your handcuffs. You have choices. You cannot silence me. You just can't. I don't know how you can incarcerate me, but I do not care. I don't care if you get what I'm saying. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. So that was just a little rant. Y'all ain't gotta listen to that part. Targeting individuals. Y'all don't gotta listen to that part. Y'all can cut that out. But yeah, as soon as I was about to end the video, they started. I don't know what weapon that is, bro. But like it hit certain parts of my body, and it was never doing this stuff. But like it's like hits the bottom of my feet, and that means like, oh yeah, we coming, like we gonna come and get you. I don't know how you gonna do that. I'm not thinking about it anymore. I'm not gonna try to figure out how you can. or how they can. We're gonna, rephrase that. Not trying to figure out how they can do that. Um, I can't think of it. Y'all will be all right. I'll be all right. I do not care. I'm not about to stop spreading truth. I'm not about to uh, spread truth to um, the swine. Cast. They say don't cast your pearls to the swine. Jesus did that. What happened to him? So protest is not an option. But getting on YouTube, helping the people that targeting is actually affecting, helping the people that gang stalking is actually affecting. I will not stop doing that. I will not stop doing that. And I'm just happy for never being, never doing certain things. I was bragging on that before. I'm just happy. It's just great. But yeah, y'all ain't gotta listen to that part. Y'all ain't gotta listen to that part. Yeah, y'all ain't gotta listen to that part. But yeah, um, I guess I'll post these. I don't know if these are bots or what, but I'll post these comments up so y'all can see them. And I won't look at them myself. I don't know what these are, but yeah. What the world? But yeah, you don't scare me. None of these people scare me. None of that stuff scares me. None of it. It doesn't scare me. Can't be affected because hey, I haven't done anything in my life. So hey, it is what it is. I've done what I've done. Got caught for it. It is what it is. Went to jail 30 days, weeks sometimes. Yeah, it is what it is. You can't affect me. That stuff doesn't affect me. You can't do anything to me to affect me. I know God. That's why. I know God. I know His word. So you can't do anything to affect me. And I know that I'm unable to forget or have memory problems or nothing, no drug is making me forget anything. So you can keep playing. I'm not going to get mad. I'm not going to get frustrated. You can keep playing. But that's just what that is. I brag on not doing anything in my life now. It's great. But yeah, I love all y'all targeted individuals, real targeted individuals. I will be live again probably Friday because tomorrow is, let me see, Thursday. So I will be live again. Um, Friday, yeah, probably Friday. I'll probably give it a break. It's another hour, 10-minute video for y'all to listen to, binge watch if y'all want to. I got a bunch of videos, like over 100 videos, live streams to watch because I want y'all to have something to watch. I've watched people's live streams like over over and over, like 10 times each live stream, like over and over. But most people just tell stories on there. I don't know if that's what I want to hear. I just be wanting to hear like knowledge and stuff, like what people have to say about it. But my perspective is like, it's not even the perspective. Like, I just use logistics, and I haven't been taught this stuff. You know, like it's just like it's like somebody just nudging at you for the same question. I binge watch, and it's like people just nudging at me when I binge watch. I feel like people just nudging at me for the same question. That's what made me come up with the answers that I have. Just using logistics. Using logistics made me come up with the answers that I have to these certain things. You know, I just People had so many questions about gang stalking and what's going on with it, and what it is, and what's that. And, like, people had so many questions about this. Like, how many people involved? Like, and just seeing the people that just making the assumptions I used to think of, like the wild assumptions I used to think. Um, the wild. I'm talking about the wild assumptions I used to think. Oh, like uh, everybody in my school watching me in my house. I'm talking about the wild assumptions. People just thinking in that way just made me come to to the conclusions and stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure it helped a lot of people. It helped me with shortness of breath. It helped me with the shortness of breath I had, like just having problems, uh, being comfortable in my house because you feel severe and stuff like that. But I'm about to get off of here. I'll be live again Friday. I love all y'all, and I love doing this. And peace.